What it's going to be really cool because I'm working with Miss Lincoln, is they have a frame and there's going to be 6 pieces of text and in the center an illustration. So the illustration,
beautiful.
yes, so the text is going to be just background on the Renaissance. Kind of like when you go to a museum, there's like little...
The placards?
Yes, exactly. That's kind of the look we're going for. A primary source analysis and how this invention, achievement, or person was met with challenges or faced obstacles. So that's sort of, I was going to say a thesis, probably this would be it. Like that's the point that they're proving. But I don't really feel like this project is a thesis where then there's support. I think it has different. Then there's a paragraph about the Middle Ages, how it compares. A paragraph about how it influences our world today. And lastly, maybe, and I'm not even positive on this, this is sort of maybe question they came up with and maybe an answer they found. While, so that I'm not, because you were telling me last week, oh, well, maybe a good thing is to have a question. So rather than me giving them all their questions,
I like that.
they realize that historians come up with their new questions so that they may have a specific question answer. But so I'm envisioning a framed piece of art with 6 little not little paragraphs, but substantial paragraphs, and 3 on each side, and then Lolly and I decided on the size of the art. It's going to be vertical and a horizontal frame. So that's where this is going. And we're going to hang them all, and they're all going to be uniform. We really want them to understand that the font needs to be the same. The font and the size of the font has to be the same, so that it's going to be very neatly portrayed. And as you see on the back, that's the art component. So sort of the diagrams and illustrations.
I love that it's so interdisciplinary. I think that that's so rich.
So I think that's what, I mean, there's a lot to go over. I mean, I could even tell when he was reading it with me that he was already, his motors were going.
Which is where those questions come into play, because the kids that don't think like Anderson need this scaffolding. And if it means that you create a handout with the question and space for the answer, or boxes or some sort of graphic organizer that lends itself to answering the questions and pulling, you know, what is your line? What do you think it means? You know, just like very, very structured.
I like that for the next step I can utilize these, and then we'll get them their primary source, so what they choose to use, or for some maybe I even present the primary source for them.
I think you might also direct them to use these questions to choose their primary sources. If they can't tell what it means and they can't tell how it represents the spirit of the Renaissance, it's not the right primary source document for them. So like kind of using it in at different levels, I think might be a nice application of these questions.
Great.
So first, can you answer these questions? Second, what are your answers to these questions?
That's a good point. So I think that some of this work will definitely support where we go. And the other goal, and I'm sure you figured that out, is that I was feeling like I want to model each of these to some degree for them.